Welcome to the Sunsplash Mix Show. I am Selector Princess.
I am Ja Prince. And Princess, in 2024, we listen to a lot of different podcasts and mixtapes, so Roba Rangsa and Das, certain people, and Shanit B, and, Jabba and Bobby Kanda's Hot 97. And then there's some songs that we start to hear on the platforms. Who's our guest today?
I'll say his name. It's KASE. Is that how you pronounce your name, KASE? Because it
Yes.
looks like that's it.
Yes, I. That's it. KASE. Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
the spelling of your name is with a K. Is the S supposed to be a dollar sign or it's an S?
It's both. It's both. We've spelled it with a dollar sign just so we could just have a little difference. Because the truth is, it derives from my name. So my name is Kason, which interestingly means pure and chaste. So I have to big up my mother for that. But I've always grown up being called Case in the household. So I was like, yo, this is nice, but it's 4 letters. So let me just add something just a little to just spice it up a little bit. So I just added the dollar sign in there, just add a little uniqueness to the name. You know,
I like
yeah,
it. I like it. Sometimes you got to be creative. Let's talk about, like you said, in the household. Some people
yeah,
say, "Yeah, man, Kiss, why I make so much noise in the house?" Was it no?
yeah.
Case, you're really good at making music. Where did it start for Case?
So I'm gonna be very honest with you. So I grew up in a very matriarchal home. I was speaking off here with Selector Princess about that, and you know, my parents are like, I want to see spiritual. Church was involved heavily, but
Okay.
I want to use the word spiritual because it didn't feel like what we assume the church feels like in our home. That can be pressure into some people, but it wasn't like that for us. It was just like a very spiritual family, and you know, the good book tells us that there'll come a time where you call about singers and players of instruments. So for me, it wasn't like there was like pressure to the music or not the music. Music kind of found me at a time when it just happened. Um, and then true to form, my parents told me that my father as well was a DJ. He was a disc jock from Mandeville, you know. So that kind of helped me to just steer a little more into just the musical space, and I started composing because I've always been in love with the idea of creating sound. Sound for me is crazy. Just the idea that there's a thing called sound and it emits a frequency that makes you feel a certain thing. That's crazy for me. So I started composing, and you know, the vocal aspect of the composition happened almost like a bet with a virgin. We're in the studio just making a thing, and he said, basically, if I use this instrument, it would be better for the instrumental at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't having it. I was like, nah, but I could use it and see it worked. So I lost the bet. And the bet was, yo, you have to go in there and just voice something. So I just went in there and freestyle a thing. And it just, and what came out shocked me, shocked him, shocked everybody because it was the first time I'd voiced at the time. And I didn't consider using my vocals as an instrument in that way up until that time. And then we just started to invest in it. But I've always been a writer though. I just never thought about using the sound plus the writing together from that space. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was vibes.
I like that. I like very, very, very good, and I'm very eloquent the same way. Is that how you treat music now? It's still just my vibe. It's my passion, or it's a job. I need to go out there and make some music. It's work.
No, for me it's purpose. For me, music is purpose. So like, so I don't know how many persons you know this, but for the ones who know, I used to study law before I was doing music. So if it were for the fact of doing a job, then we could have done. You know what I mean? The space was there for us to do
Yeah.
other things. For me, it was a calling, and it's not like I don't want to sound either cliche either. 'Cause I feel like people say that sometimes, but for me is really a calling. Again, akin to how we grew up and just having women around us who are very connected to the spirit. And then
Mm.
even how I started writing as well kind of was indicative of that.
Yeah.
First song was Perfect Storm. The oxymoron of that in itself, No Jah Love Surrounds. And just the connection of the spirit was very important for me to start my career vocally like that, just to kind of set the tone as you would do with prayer before any major thing. 'Cause that's how I grew up. before you do anything at all. You take an exam, you eat, you bathe, you wake up in the morning, you start with prayer. So I didn't want my career to stray too far from the morals that I grew up on. So I had to start with Perfect Storm. You know what I mean? So for me, to answer your question, is not necessarily a job, but it's more a calling and service, more importantly, to the divine. And
Mm.
once that service is fulfilled and the divine creator is happy with what the work that he has intended for me to accomplish, then you know what I mean? We can't ask for anything else. Yeah.
Incredible. So your project is called Perfect Storm, or is that just the first single from your project?
Well, that is a first single. That's a
Okay.
first single. I believe that when the project comes, I feel like the story will make sense more to persons. Because first of all, I'm very aware that the sound doesn't match the face that the people be looking for. I'm very cognizant of that. And with that comes the excitement and the intrigue of wanting to overstand who is this youth, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I feel like for now we're dwelling, we being my team and I, Daddy Barnes, Cre8ive Tribe, we're just dwelling within that moment of being appreciative of the journey, yeah,
Yeah.
and then setting the tone for what people can expect for when the project drops. Because when the project drops, we want it to feel like not only a moment for the culture, but also a space where people can remember the root of what this music is. Cause it's really a spiritual thing. Is liberation of the soul that we're trying to accomplish. You
Yeah.
know, so once we can achieve that in short order, then we would be more than happy, and all the accolades that come after that will just be the icing for us. For right now, we're putting out some singles and we're just doing some temperature checks, and we like the temperature so far, you know.
Uh,
Yeah,
And the variation of the singles, I mean, they're all totally different. So
right.
let's go through them. So Perfect Storm is one.
Perfect
Green.
storm, then green card. Green card.
Green Card.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Then weekend. And then we have Olive coming out now. Yeah, yeah,
Let's touch on the green card. Let's touch on the green card because we
yeah.
are part of the diaspora. We
Yes,
are
yes.
moving through different countries, cities, and towns. And
See,
somebody said, "Well, on green card, no man. The way that we like the green
yeah,
card
yeah,
is
yeah,
very good play
yeah,
on words."
yeah. Well, I have to credit that to my mother, who was a literature buff, and she instilled literature in me. So my mother, in addition to just my teachers as well at school, helped to prepare me for the literature exams. They've always been like a reader and writer, you know. So, so I really like funny things, so things that have like are just very funny. Well,
Yeah.
akin to even you'll see the titles coming out still, like Perfect Storms and Oxymoron, Green Card is upon, yeah, things like that. You know what I mean? The most Master P one was Weekend, which was also intentionally done because of the period when it was released, where someone so wanted it to just be generally um accepted. But for Green Card, yeah, it's really just a celebration of just her being like just a kind of upful space. I feel like the space hasn't had like a herb song of that in terms of the composition that we did and
Yeah.
how we went about it, and just the punchiness of the lyrics, and it was a little more up tempo for reggae. And we just wanted it to feel how people should feel in that state. You know,
Ah,
I want to make very positive, happy songs because it's
right.
needed. Like the world is crazy now, so we need that type of energy in the space, and we need it to be done as well from a positive space as well. And I feel like because the music is coming from that space where it's very personal and like vulnerable, the music you kind of feel the energy once you hear it. You're like, oh, this is fun
Yeah.
because it was in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we give thanks for reception of that as well. You know?
Yeah, definitely good. Like you said, being responsible as an artist,
Yeah,
understanding that, hey, I'm just putting out words, we're having fun, but I'm not really telling you don't use anesthesia, use
right.
marijuana. That's
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, what I also want to do, I mean, I feel like as a creative or as an artist, I have a responsibility, and I know this is a touchy topic for many artists, but I feel like I actually have a responsibility to be a driving force of good,
Mhm.
and be a driving force of anything positive. So even if you might hear something and it's catchy,
yeah.
from us, That is really the aim, but we wanted to also listen very keenly because we're also saying things in there that if you just kind of listen, you're like, oh wait, he reads, oh you know what I mean,
Yeah.
which is very important. So, and I also
Yeah.
feel like we're in a space where, in all the information age, this information is also something that is disseminated amongst the populace at a rapid
Mm-hmm.
space, like at a rapid rate. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to also be very keen on the information we put out. But if we're agents for good, then we have the opportunity and a mantra to also put out information that is positive, no? So we have to make sure that we're intentional with the messaging and we're singing things that you can listen to and it
Yeah.
catch you and it and like yeah, youths can listen to too. Yeah. Yeah.
All ages.
Yeah.
And your latest single, Olive. I like
Yeah.
the promo so far.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Yeah. Olive is Olive is a personal one for me. I must admit, Olive is the sonic representation of love. That's how I want to put it. Um, Love in a very intimate way. So, you know, I feel like when you connect to the spirit, you automatically have a soft heart. So I have a very soft heart, especially when it comes on to the love of a woman who I really do think is the most divine creation on earth in a human form. So the
Yeah.
respect and love that I have for women um, is, I think, represented in this single um, in a very personal way. And I also feel like it's very important for us to bring that value back. Love is very important. Despite whatever information is out there now, it is a crucial element. It is still the driving force of many great things, and it's the most powerful substance out there. There's no substance like it. So I feel like once we keep pushing love in all forms, whether it's love for her, love for the creator, love for the divine woman, then we need to push that out there, because our women need to be protected and need to understand that they are loved. And as not all of us out here mean them bad, we understand
Mm-hmm.
that as men we have a duty to protect them. And we have a duty
Yeah.
to make them understand that they are loved and we are here and we're present in their lives. And as much as they're an addition to our lives, we're an addition to theirs as well. And it is our duty to ensure that the divine connection between the two is protected. So I feel like Olive is kind of like that. It's like a representation of that, and it's just a vibe. So I want people to just kind of understand it, love it, and hear the effort and hard work that the team has put into it as well. It's a single that we've been working on for a year. I recorded it October last year. We've been mixing and recording and mixing and tweaking and mixing, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm a perfectionist. So it's not right till it's right. When it's right, it's right.
That's right.
Right, yeah. So we give thanks and we just hope that everybody appreciates it. That is it. Yes, yes, yes.
So let us know all your social media platform handles.
So it's Case Music on Instagram and it's Case Music on YouTube. You can actually find me just like Case Music on everything. So just tap in. I just want people to just tap in and just enjoy it and understand that Jamaican music and reggae music is something that is very crucial in these times, and we're still very much a driving force of the culture, an agent
Yeah.
of love and positivity. And if you want to see better just for everything, with your life, with a inspiration, you just want to see better for the world, yes, tap in. Understand so the messaging is pure, and purity is what we're all about. Before I go, I just want to say, just my major love and respect to the team, my older brother, my mentor, Daddy Barnes, my brother Hector, De Niro, Sinky, the entire team, plenty, just all of us who've put our hearts into making the art as great as we think it is. So we just hope that the world appreciates it.
Very well said.
Definitely.
Very well said. Just like you said, before people move forward, those are some of the questions we asked them. You're now part of a larger community of reggae artists that put out products. You're part of a creative tribe. Can you explain to maybe some artists? Maybe they won't tap you on the shoulder and ask, but you feel like that about it. Talk about having a team right before we let you move on. Having a team that love you, support you, family is important.
Here's the thing. I like to use the example of ants. I've never seen one ant move a crumb. I've seen ants move food. I've seen the team of ants, the colony of ants, move everything into the colony. I've never seen one bee make honey. I've seen the hive come together as a unit to ensure that ensure that what we get,
Great.
the product of it is great. So
Yeah.
I feel like the best example outside of me even telling you what my ideals of success are and the team's input into that is to look at the physical world around us and see what the divine law teaches. Nothing was ever developed as far as anthropology or the study of the world is concerned by a singular unit. It's always a team of people. So it's very important to find your kin. Yeah, your kin is the physical representation and manifestation of your heart.